Now we're going to start our live vocal warm-up now, and I just want to make the point here that a vocal warm-up is not the same as a vocal technique session where you really work the voice. The whole point of a vocal warm-up is you're just trying to sort of keep your voice you know, ready for action, if you like, so that when you are allowed to go and join your choirs, sing in your ensemble groups, you'll feel that vocally you are good to go, that you've hit the ground running. Okay, that might be different for some of you who might want actually then to thinking in more solo terms, solo singer terms. Okay, so Sophie says she's okay vocally. Onset and a loose jaw are still her main focus. All right, with no more ado, let's get down to it. So here we are. First things first, you've got to get in the zone. Okay, that means no distractions. You've got to get yourself in a good position to just be able to concentrate for the next 20-25 minutes on your voice. Okay, whatever that might mean. Okay, so you've got to be careful that you don't try to overextend yourself, given that a warm-up is really where we're just touching on the very kind of edge of, so it's no big singing, basically. We're just limbering up. So if you're getting in the zone, this includes just checking for any tension in your shoulders and neck particularly. Okay, because of course this is where we house our instruments. So just kind of do whatever you really feel you need to do. I have a bit of a stiff neck, a bit of overexertion yesterday with something, and I can feel a stiffness down this side. So I don't want that to affect how I'm singing today. All right, so next comes posture. So as you're getting into the zone, you will be thinking about, you know, how am I sitting? It's okay to do a vocal warm-up sitting down, but lots of people prefer to stand. So you are checking for those what you would normally associate with good postural alignment. Okay, so you've got your head nicely positioned on top of your spine. It's not forward or conversely going back. You want it to feel that natural kind of point of balance. Okay, so you get a nice extension feeling in your neck, a nice lengthening to the neck, and therefore the shoulders feel like they're broadening and your spine is lengthening. And if you're sitting, that means that you feel as if you're moving away from your sitting bones, okay, the U-shaped bones at the bottom of your pelvis. If you're standing, you've got to make sure that you pull up out of your pelvis and yet your legs and your feet feel like they're really grounded. Next, we start to think about the breathing. So allow the air to come in and back out, nice and easy, nothing singery at the moment. Back in again. And as you're doing it, you become aware of your lower ribs, okay, and the muscles to the front of the belly and also your back. Okay, so you just become aware of the movement. All right, so there's expansion as you take the air in, and there's a feeling of release as the air comes out. Okay, all right, now this time we're going to take a bigger breath in, and we're going to let it out to until it's all gone. You can feel that contraction in the front of your belly, your tummy, and you're going to release it. And out again to okay, now you should have felt that kind of lovely response as you let the contraction go of having no air at all. And you allow the air in, and notice that I let my air in through an open mouth. Okay, it's not that we always do that, but it's good to get that sort of the trigger action, if you like, that automatic response to get the muscles inside the mouth where the soft palate is to kind of stretch away like you've had a surprise. Okay, because it just gets everything ready. Okay, so let's just do that exercise one more time, and then we're going to go straight into our lip trills. Okay, the important thing with a warm-up of any kind is not to be impatient. You have to let the process take its time. You have to let the body warm up as well. So we're going to do that breathing exercise again, because often people are impatient and want to get on to some of the more sort of pyrotechnic type things. Okay, so it's really important to think about your postural alignment. Okay, really make sure that the bottom of your ribs feel like they're wide and open. If you're not sure how that feels, put your arms up in the air. Okay, then let the arms come back down, but don't let your rib cage relax or drop down. Okay, now old air out, blow it away, allow new air in. Off we go. Okay, it's really important to think of that as not a kind of test as how long you can breathe for. It's more just to get the feeling from the inside out. Okay, all right, so you've got your body a little bit more engaged, and think about the fact that there's no, how long should a warm-up be? A warm-up should be about, I don't know, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. It's just long enough to feel that you've been there, you've looked at the 5 essentials: posture, breathing, onset, lip trills and sirening. You've just kind of been through all of those and you've touched base with everything. Always thinking about, how am I standing? Can I feel what's going on? Don't listen too much to your voice. Feel from the inside. Hi Debbie, I've just seen you arrive. Never mind, you're here. Okay, all right, so now we're going on to lip trills. Okay, now lip trills are great things because they are very physical. They require what we call body engagement. Okay, so if you've not done lip trills before, just try one now, okay, on any old pitch or no particular pitch at all, okay? So just a quick, it's like on a cold frosty day, but we voice it because we want onset of sound. We want your vocal folds to kind of wake up, okay? And lip trills are a great way, because if you can't do a successful lip trill or rolled R, it usually means that there's some kind of, something lacking in the old body. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. We're going to slide up and down a fifth. And we're going to do a sort of sequence of these just to make sure we cover all your sort of middling range. Okay, so check what's going on in your body. And this is nice and serene. Here we go. Ready? With me. Here we go. And don't forget you can do rolled R's instead. Just a few more. Really slide, don't jump. Two more. Last one. And you should be getting lots of tingling sensations, especially in your nose and possibly across here, even here, because the vibrations you're creating, of course, are having an effect or being felt on your amplifier, which is your skull. Everything about your skull is your amplifier vocally. All right, so if you're new to lip trills, you might have found those a bit frustrating. You can do rolled R's, you can do or even humming. Okay, now we're going back down here. We're going to do whole octaves this time, and this time we're going to do them slightly more quickly. So I'm going to do. Okay, so you got the idea. And again, we're going to work through the middle part of your voice. Remember, we're just limbering up. We're not trying to do anything fantastic at the moment. We're just checking in. What you should feel is that although you're doing an octave, the feeling is that everything is even. You're not suddenly pushing for the top notes, okay? So here we go. We'll just try them and be mindful of the posture, okay, and how free is my neck. Okay, here we go. Ready? And okay, if you're with me at the end there, top A. Okay, now let's go back here. We're going to do it the same thing, lip trills or rolled R's or humming. We're going to do it the opposite way. So we're going to do going down, okay? Because we're just trying to make sure that everything is intact. And do feel free to tap out a little bit of reactions or comments you might have, okay, because it's nice just to have some feedback so I can kind of see how it's going. I've seen Sue Louis just said lots of tingles and a runny nose. Oh, okay, here we go. So we're going down from the top one, whole octave. Here we go. Ready? And now if you've got some sopranos in there and you were struggling with the last couple like me, that was a bottom E below middle C. Okay, so you can see in this warm-up what we're trying to do is to kind of stretch the edges of what we're doing. Now we are switching to NG hums. Say sing and hang on to the NG bit at the end of the word. Swimming. And just notice what the back of the tongue is doing to make that sound. And a test to see if you've got it right is if you pinch your nose while you're doing an and if it stops, you're doing it right. Basically what we're doing is we are with an NG hum, you're closing off the mouth exit for the sound and it's all being directed down your nose. Okay, so it's good. Now we've just done lip trills and we've got the body going and we've been looking at Judith, yes, your lips are on fire. It's hard the first time. But you know, lip trills are the best thing. You know, when you always have something you really favour in your makeup bag, right? Something you always want to go to. Lip trills will become the thing to have, to be able to do. Sue's Entwistle says, doing okay today, still working on the lip trills. Yeah, don't run away from them though, girls, because they are your best friend. Once you've mastered them, they're just like the golden exercise. If I don't have any time for much of a warm-up, I'll always go to my lip drills. Okay, now NG hums. We're going to do what we just did, but you have to make sure you're really doing an So we could start with sing, sing, but you have to be really quick through this, the S and the vowel. Sing, sing. And you notice how my tongue is nice and flat. The back is high. Sing, but the front of my tongue is quite a long way forward in my mouth and sitting just behind my lower teeth. Now, if you've got a bit of an issue with a stiff tongue, which the root of the tongue is very powerful in singing, then I would encourage you to think about even bringing your tongue, letting it come slightly further forward like this. I mean, no one says you're going to look wonderful when you're doing your warm-up. So you could do but you still have to be making the okay? Now, NG hums are great for a warm-up because they start to introduce your relationship with your jaw and your tongue, specifically the root of the tongue. The root of the tongue can get very tight and constricted when we're singing, and it brings a lot of vocal fatigue issues. So in a warm-up, what you want to do is do lots of silly exercises where you encourage your tongue forward in your mouth, and that releases the root of the tongue. The root of the tongue actually feeds into the larynx physically, so we want to make sure that we're not kind of pulling it tight. Okay, so here we are. We're going to do octaves, okay? And remember, the test to see if you're doing it right is just to pinch your nose and the sound should stop. Have some fun with this. Ready? It goes. Ready? Here we go. And no eyebrows. For a moment because that's the top A. Okay, now start again here, and we're going to do them in the reverse. We're going to do them down first. So we're going to do okay, because we all have funny little kind of quirky habits with our singing. Some of us prefer to start up high and don't like going down low. So let's just see how we do. All right, everyone okay? I'm hoping. Remember, your jaw should feel really nice and relaxed, no pushing down, so you get tension here, because these muscles here underneath your chin, these are the ones who are principally responsible for pulling the jaw down, and we don't want too much tension under here. Nice and gormless, please. Sophie says much more comfy with the tongue hanging out a bit. Yeah, okay. It is actually. Once you can get past how it looks, it feels good. Now here we go. NG hums, dropping octaves. Here we go. And last one. Actually, one more. It's really low for me. Okay, how did you get on with that? See, I have a thing about going down. Not so fond of that sort of low area below middle C. I can really self-sabotage terribly with that if I'm not careful. So it's good to exercise. Now, how do you feel vocally? This is your warm-up. This is not about singing opera or making big sounds. It's really important when you're doing your vocal warm-up that you're only really intending to make what we call to really locate and wake up the thin edge of the vocal folds. Okay, not really going for it making a big sound. So we always try to keep that lovely balance when we're doing a warm-up so that we're not pushing with the air. We do not have air blow, so we're forcing air against the vocal folds. We want air flow, which is where you actually keep the balance of the, it's going to get a bit technical here, this sub and supraglottic pressure. So the vocal folds stay cradled between these two areas of pressure, and what we want is this to be ideal. And so in a warm-up, when you're doing just, you get into your posture, you get into your breathing, you get into your lip trills, and then the NG hums. You're waking everything up very gradually. Okay, so now we would start to get into some vowel work. Okay, now if you say, this is just little, we could try this actually. Let's just start down here again. Let me just think. Okay, one vowel. The thing is to go from your NG hum, hang about there for a bit, and then just go down. So if you're tricky to sing like that though, yes it is. You can't really sing songs with your tongue hanging out. On an NG hum. Don't do anything extra special, just let the sound that wants to come, and then support it. Keep feeding the air. Okay, let's try. Here we go, a few of these. You can choose any vowel coming down if you want. Here we go, ready? NG hum, here we go, and try a different vowel. How about E? Last one, ooh. Okay, now if you were lucky, you would have felt quite a big kind of buzz once you released your vowel sound. Quite a big sound that you weren't expecting. Well, that's just because you're picking up on the resonance. So we're starting to work on and introduce the feelings of, from the inside, how the vowels feel, okay, as you slip from things like NG hums, lip trills, into vowels. Okay, so let's just do a little exercise. It's going to flummox some of you if you've not taken part in one of my warm-ups before, but watch this space because these are just taster sessions. I'm just feeling my way to see what people would like. We're going to do what I call the incremental exercise. Okay, so we've got E, O, ooh. Bye Debbie, thanks for joining us. So E, O, ooh. And again, you are encouraging in your warm-up your tongue to be very, very relaxed. Sue says, I really like that exercise. Yes, a really big sound, and my problem with the oohs as usual. Yeah. Do you mean the O's or the oohs? I think it's the oohs, isn't it? Yep. It's very hard because, of course, tongue retraction, pulling the tongue back, is a big issue for many singers, because how we perceive our sound on the inside when we kind of stiffen the back of our tongue often gives us a very false sense of thickness of tone, and we don't want that. We want purity of sound always, so you can then build on that, build on that, build on that. Let's just do our incremental exercise. Okay, this is all working the middle of the voice. Okay, you ready? Now join in. If you're a bit flummoxed by the succession of vowels, choose a vowel. Choose one that you like, okay, and just try to get the pattern. All right, but you're still thinking about postural alignment, and you're still thinking about not pushing the air. Here we go. And of our voice. Now we're going to do the same exercise but extend it to a whole octave. Okay, so this is still within your warm-up. We've been doing about 20 minutes so far, so the way you should be feeling here is if it's quite relaxed, a bit fat actually, like, you know, you've been letting lots of air in. As long as you're supporting well, you know, your throat will feel nice and open. Okay, all right, so let's start in B major here. So we're in a whole octave now, and now if you were successful with the vowels and this is your first time, this one may now flummox you completely because we are doubling up on the vowels and doing them backwards like this. We're going to join in with me if you would like. Here we go, and it goes. Just a couple more. Last one. Okay, the top note there was a G. Okay, and what we're looking for in your warm-up is for you to feel comfortable throughout your range. Okay, as soon as you start to get a feeling of tightness or strain, it's best to stop, because all you'll be doing will be reinforcing bad muscle memories, which will then pick up on another time. So a warm-up is really about just literally warming up your voice. Okay, so what have we done today? We've looked at the 5. Okay, we looked at posture, breathing. Onset is happening, okay, all the time. You're using your voice. Lip trills and NG hum. Nothing much bigger than that, really. Now we've got probably, no, we're just coming up to, it's just 3:05, so we've been working about 25 minutes. Okay, one last exercise just to kind of get your teeth into a little bit, still using the same sequence of vowels. All right, we're going to go back down here to B major and do, Sophie says, comfy with her fingers on her chin to check her jaw is not sticking forward and the tongue is slightly forward. So yeah, so Sophie she sings with me and Sue Louis within Virtually Vocalese, and we're doing a lot of work over the last few years on issues to do with the jaw, and this is where patience comes in, because you have to apply that patience all the time. Okay, not just Sophie and her jaw, but me, Sue, and other singers too in the group. It's all about, you know, having patience, being kind to yourself. Did you say, Suze, you're not a fan of that one? Makes me think about getting rid of the tension. You're a big fan? You says, but fan. What does that mean, Suze? You like it? You don't like it? Makes me think about getting rid of the tension. All right. All right. Hopefully you have got rid of the tension, because now we're going to do this one. We've been doing incremental little steps. Now we're going to do whole octaves. Ready? It's going to go like this. So you're still encouraging not a huge sound, nice balanced feel to it, nothing too strenuous, but still trying to encourage your tongue forward, and also that you can see me sometimes pushing my mouth forward like that. You don't want this happening as you go higher, because it spreads the sound and you get a little bit of, you know. You are a fan, Suze. It's autocorrect. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just, you know, it's pretty crucial whether someone does or does not like something. Right, are you ready? So I'll just demonstrate that again. Okay, and you're always trying to think of like a nice sort of long feeling, relaxed. So, you know, it's good for the old cheekbones, good workout for the facial muscles, keeping it nice and kind of forward. So you've got a nice relaxed, these muscles here, okay? And you're picking up on resonance, and it should not be too hard. This is the last one, folks, I promise. Here we go, ready? And... One more. Okay. How did that feel at the top? If it felt okay at the top, it was the top A flat. Okay, we could have gone on, but a warm-up is really about just touching on the extremities, working a bit on the middle of the voice, but with no extra kind of duress. You are nursing yourself through your vocal warm-up. You are not kind of driving yourself through it. Okay, all right, so what would come next would be normally to do some sort of cool down, except if you're then going on to do some singing, you're in a great position to go on and look at your song. Okay, sometimes you can do a much shorter warm-up, and really perhaps if you're feeling a bit lethargic and you want to sort of feel a bit more energetic to look at your songs or music, then obviously lip trills are the thing. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it feeling good, with no extra duress on the vocal folds, because let's remember those vocal folds, they are actually no bigger, the length of them, than your little fingernail, and they are the actual bit of skin stuff, mucous membrane that actually makes connection and touches each other, is 3 to 6 cells thick. Okay, which is why we don't want to bombard them with too much Okay, so that's your vocal warm-up. And folks, I'm going to wrap that up for my 4th taster session within the virtual studio. Taster sessions because I wanted to see, you know, how people reacted to vocal warm-ups, a bit of technique, a bit of kind of direction. So what I'd love now is if in the conversation thread, when we finish the session, if you could, if you feel like it, give me some feedback. I'd love it if you would do that. And if you have friends who love to sing and haven't yet made it to the virtual studio, remember it's a nice private group where we don't have everybody who looking at us while we're doing this, then get them to come and join in if that's something that would be helpful at this time. Okay, all right, I'm going to wrap this up and say bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you for joining me all these Fridays, and just let me know how you'd like to proceed. Okay, so all the best, and more again from me soon. Bye for now. Stay safe.